The Look by Roxette. They were the Swedish duo Murray Fredriksson and Per Hessel, formed in 1986. Look Sharp, released on the 21st of October 1988, was the duo's second album, and The Look was an international hit that topped the charts in 25 countries. You're listening to ABC Southeast this morning. Elsie Adama with you, filling in for Liz Rymel. It is 13 minutes to 9. Now, if you're experiencing hardship, one of the first things that gets cut back is often your access to good, hearty food. For some in the community, getting at least one warm meal into their bellies is a challenge each day. That's where community kitchens and charity services come in to give free meals to those in our region who really need them. Murray Thompson is the president of the Sunset Community Kitchen and joins us now. Good morning, Murray.
Good morning, Elsie.
Now, you've recently put out a call for volunteers. How are your rosters currently looking?
Yeah, that we had a really, really good response to that. So that has really helped us to just fill a few gaps that we had in our rosters because, people come, people go for all various different reasons. And occasionally, we have some rosters that are a few short of people. So the response has been really, really good.
So do you still need extra volunteers then?
If anyone is interested, then certainly they can still continue to contact us. And if there is a roster that is still short, but we're also looking for people who would be happy to go on our backup rosters, where when we're short of people, we can then call on them, and they then start to get the experience of working, in the kitchen with our volunteers, and then we'll eventually go on to a full-time roster if that's what they want to do.
Now, as we have been speaking about this morning and often here on ABC Southeast, Marie, it is a tough time out there for people. Have you seen an increased need for the kitchen's services?
Yes, we have. In the last 12 months or so, our numbers have ramped up quite a lot. And, people are doing it tough. And it's just so good to be able to help them in the way that we do.
And when you say it has increased quite a lot, what, doubled, Marie? What kind of numbers are we talking?
We have gone from mid to high 40s, early 50s numbers into mid to high 70s, on both nights, which is quite a big increase.
And as we've been discussing, extra volunteers to fill that, do you need extra support in other ways as well?
You're always looking for, because we are totally a volunteer based. Our funds come from donations, fundraising, all that sort of thing. We're always looking for a donation of funds or produce. People in the community, have extra veggies or fruit or, in their gardens or whatever. It's all very welcome.
As we know, people can, of course, be in need of help at any time, but as we get into autumn and winter, it is going to start to cool down. Are you expecting even higher demand as people are looking for a hot meal?
Quite possibly, quite possibly, as it does cool down. We have changed how we do things at the kitchen to save people having to line up for a considerable time in the cold weather. We now have a numbered system where we put one of those little, those little things you get at the deli in the supermarkets, where they pull a number out, and then they can go off and sit somewhere warm or somewhere, and they can then come back when we open the doors and start to call out the numbers. But yeah, the cold weather doesn't deter people in need.
No, absolutely. And it's good in this case that there is an upcoming event in June which will help with this. The Smoke and Soul Project by Dave Meadows Barbecue is a travelling service taking delicious hot and barbecued meals to those who need it most in the communities. One of the first stops of the trip is actually going to be here in Mount Gambier at Frew Park in June. So I'll bring Dave Meadows in now. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Hello, how are you?
Doing well. Now tell us about the Smoke and Soul Project. How has this event kind of come up?
Okay, so this has basically come up because I've been feeding the homeless in Adelaide for the last 3 years, and we've just been progressively seeing here that same sort of thing. It's going up and up here also in Adelaide. And we did a barbecue here in Adelaide last year, and it was we served up, I think, over 100 heads. And I went away from that and sort of had a good think, because I couldn't help but feel like there was something bigger out there. And I just really felt like I could help more. So I sort of sat down and had a bit of a think and came up with this concept of going around the country, and particularly like regional areas, and helping feeding the homeless, and not suppose necessarily homeless, but feeding people who just can't afford to eat. And as we've just sort of said, it's getting harder and harder. Everything's going up, especially with fuel and cost of living and everything. So so then I found the Sunset Community Kitchen sort of on Facebook, and sent them a message and sort of explained who I am and what I do here in Adelaide. And they sort of expressed that they were searching for extra volunteers and help, and then it kind of occurred to me, this has become a larger issue for me. It's not just about feeding the people, feeding homeless and those in need. It's actually about also raising awareness to all the organisations out there, and there are hundreds around, who are extremely underfunded, undersupported. So, so this has become something that I've just become not passionate about, not only feeding, those in need, but also helping out the organisations out there that are also doing it hard. So, yeah.
Yeah, look, a great opportunity for the region. Marie, is this an exciting, event for the organisation? Were you expecting to hear from Dave in this way?
No, it was great when we heard from Dave. It was a real surprise, and we thought, oh, this is wonderful, because it's another avenue, another night that we're going to be able to help people out. So it's just great.
And Dave, what is the importance of having access to a home-cooked, and especially when it comes to barbecue, a hearty meal, in your opinion?
Yeah, absolutely. I think what we've found in our experience is the sheer happiness. We sort of hand out a barbecue boxes when we do it in Adelaide. We give them a barbecue box that's full of, as you say, hearty barbecue food, and people have come back and said this is excellent, this is awesome, some of the best food we've had. We had one guy last year, it was just happened to be his birthday, and he came up to me and said, mate, this is the best birthday I've ever had. So I think it's that happiness and hope and the smiles that we get and the feedback that we get has just made me feel like this is something we need to do more of. And also, I encourage anyone out there to, hold up their hand and help out, because the feeling you get from it as well, personally, is awesome. So, but yeah, certainly the happiness that we've been able to share and the hope as well has been excellent. So, hoping to do the same thing when we come past.
Yeah, well, a lot to organise, I'm sure, Dave, and fuel costs won't be helpful as the price rises as you're driving around. Do you need assistance from people either on the day or in terms of funds?
Assistance. That's something that we'll organise with Marie. But at this stage, we've been sort of in the fundraising stage of it all. I'm extremely happy and proud to say that we've raised just over 30,000 to feed the homeless in regional areas around Oz. Certainly that any extra funding would help, because to cover our expenses, especially fuel. But yeah, I've sort of said the whole way along, as soon as this tour is over, if there is any leftover funds, I'll be sharing that with all the organisations I've helped out along the way. So.
No, it's an exciting opportunity for the region. I am particularly excited for you to head down, and I can confirm, Dave, there are a couple people in the office that might be hitting you up for a bit of a recipe share. They want to know how you make the barbecue. Are you a fan of barbecue yourself, Marie?
I am, yeah, very much so. Yeah, no, it's a great way for people to communicate with one another too. You know, when they come up and they'll be and we'll just be so pleased if a lot of the community come and support us and get help from this. I think it's just a wonderful addition to what we do, and it's just great for Dave to be doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that event will be happening on June 19th, so plenty of time to help out by donating some funds or donating some time. Marie and Dave, thank you so much for coming on ABC Southeast this morning.
Thanks a lot for having me.
That was Marie Thompson, the president of the Sunset Community Kitchen, and Dave Meadows, who will be running the Smoke and Soul Project. So yes, that date again, June 19th, and you can find out more information online. Coming up to 2 minutes to 9 a.m. this morning, one quick song for you before